guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today we are diving into my June 2020 faves. So as many of you know, June is my birth month. So June 10th, I was in my 39th trip around the sun. That's right, I'm a 1981 baby. I am circa 1981. So there's obviously going to be a lot of goodies because there's just going to be a lot more going on during June, and in general, I guess there's always a lot going on in June. So like my seniors graduated, the class of 2020 graduated. They got to do their little drive-through graduation. They decorated their vehicles. Some of them were hanging out of their their sunroofs, and it was pretty wild. And they still got to walk across the stage and get their diploma and all that stuff like that. So, that was a lot of fun. And then of course, I had my birthday, and so there's a lot of goodies from that. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into the goodies. And as a side note, I just want to say that the reason I like to do faves is because sometimes it's fun just to show off some goodies that you have, but also I like to watch faves, and the reason is not because I want to buy everything that like everybody has, but sometimes it gives me ideas on using things I already have, or maybe if I was looking for something and I was like, oh, but I couldn't quite like put it into words, and then I see like somebody has the exact thing that I'm like been looking for. I'm like, oh, okay. And sometimes it's just the little monkey in me, the little curiosity factor, and I just like want to see like people's goodies, and so I like sharing my goodies with you guys. So let's go ahead and look at my goodies. All right, we are going to start with food, and the first one being one of my birthday gifts from my dude, and that is the Hello Kitty French cookies. So yes, it comes in this ginormous box, and everything was like sealed inside of sealed, inside of sealed, inside of sealed, which I always appreciate. So yeah, you get these, there's two little packages. One of them is little French cookies that taste kind of strawberry-like, and the other tastes kind of espresso. But you have the sealed package, but inside the sealed package, you have this little tray with individually like sealed packages. And so they're really good. This one is the kind of coffee espresso-y kind of version, but yeah, they're really light and crispy, and they look just like they do here on the cover, and they're probably about maybe that big. And but yeah, my dude and I were looking for, we like to get a lot of our cooking supplies at 99 Ranch, which is like the Korean supermarket, and because a lot of stuff we need, that's where it comes from. And then I saw this box, and he's like, how do I not get that for you for your birthday? And even though it was like a couple of days after my birthday, he's like, I keep buying you stuff, I need to stop. He's like, okay, that is your last gift. And I was like, okay, thank you. Other food goodies that we picked up at 99 Ranch are these coconut cookies. We got some butter cookies too, and they also come in like these little, hold on, let me pop this open here. So they come in these little individual packages, and there's about 6 cookies maybe to a package, and they look just like this. They're really small though, they're probably about that big, and it tastes like an explosion of coconut, when you bite into them. And my dude got the butter cookies because he likes butter cookies more than he likes coconut. Me, I love everything coconut. That's just the Islander girl in me. So I really like these, and it says it's the no name brand like coconut cookies. So I was like, sweet. So yeah, you never know what you're gonna find when you venture out, so we always find some good stuff there. Okay, next in the foodie department, they're my boyfriend's favorites, which is why he gets them, but I love them too, so they're kind of like my favorites too. So because they're in the house, I love them. These are called Duke's Original Recipe Smoked Shorty Sausages. And so he loves these because it's pork raised with no hormones added and slow dried with no nitrates added. So I like to put these in his lunches as like a little snack. And for me, I'll have them as like a light lunch. I'll have a few, and then like I'll have like a little salady thing too and stuff like that. But these are really good. And usually I'm not a huge like dried meat person unless I'm hanging out in Italy, which was like a long time ago. But in which case, yes, I loved a lot of dried meats. But some of the dried meats here, like it's, you know, I was never a big fan, but I love these. Like I'm a big fan. Another little goodie that I found, I actually found this at Sprouts Market, formerly known as Boney's. But this is the dark chocolate sea salt turbinado almonds. These are so good. Like I love really dark chocolate. Like it's so dark, it's like dirt. And then it's covering almonds, which I love almonds. So, I mean, the nutrition isn't too horrible. I mean, it's obviously going to have some sugar in it because it's dark chocolate. But yeah, so these have been good. Just kind of like, just, you know, have a few every once in a while. My dude also likes these too. So he's been eating all of my dark chocolate almonds. Also, I got some stuff as part of my birthday as well. I got a lot of candy, and this is the Haribo brand. And I got a bunch of stuff like little dinosaur, like Haribo gummies, and I got the Picoballa Haribos and some like gummy frogs, and gosh, I got all kinds of stuff. There's like lemon ginger, because like I love lemon everything. I mean, ginger everything. Well, I love lemon too. That's my two favorite things. I actually can eat a lemon like I'm just eating like regular fruit. Like I love lemons so much. And ginger, I'll just straight eat ginger. So yeah, so I got like a whole bag full of like Haribo stuff. So I've been kind of like munching on that, but because I put on maybe a couple of pounds for since my birthday, I've been kind of like tightening up the sugar intake again, and just like, okay, just sweet treat every once in a while. We got to get back on track here, you know. And then one last thing, this is a beverage. This is adult beverage. So if you're in the States, this is 21 and over, you know, crowd here, or whatever the drinking age is for your state. I'm actually not sure. I thought it was 21 over everywhere, but who knows? In some countries, it's like 16 or 18, whatever your drinking age is, those people can tune in. We have the Kirkland Vintage 2019 Cabernet Sauvignon from California. And yes, it is a box wine, but do you want to, okay, before you knock me for having box wine in the house, all you vino snobs out there, this is a 90 point plus wine in a box. Yes. And let me tell you, because we are vino snobs, we have had some really expensive bottles of wine, you know, I mean, not really purchased by us, but purchased by our friend that can afford such things. And then we just kind of mooch off of him. And we will have his wine. But this actually is like equivalent, like when we taste it, like I've had a bottle of wine that was like it was like a $3,000 bottle of wine. Again, we didn't purchase it. People who could afford such things did. We just partook in it. And it didn't taste like it was any fancier or anything than what's in this. Like, this is really good. I have had like actual other box wines before that are just rank and like it tastes like it came out of a box. This not so. And the nice thing is, you know, when we open a bottle of wine, we feel like you have to drink like the whole bottle. I mean, because which is like it's like 2.5 glasses of wine each for my dude and I. But some nights you don't feel like getting trashed on like 2.5 glasses of wine. I'm a lightweight, so like a half a glass of wine, I'm fine. And I don't even drink that often. So it's like half a glass of wine every couple of weeks or so. And so it being a boxed wine, and well, you kind of punch this out and you put it in your fridge, but you could just like pour out the amount you want. and then you're done. Like, you don't have to waste a bottle or anything like that. So yes, this is the Kirkland Costco Cabernet Sauvignon. So yes, don't knock it until you try it. Okay, going into some other faves, we're going to go into jewelry. There is an Etsy shop that I found that does seed bead jewelry, and she's all the way out in the UK, and the name escapes me for right now. Just type in like United Kingdom seed bead jewelry, like you probably see her, she'll come up. She's like got blonde hair, she's got like dreads, like the blonde dreads. But I bought this seed bead necklace, which looks exactly like the one I used to have back when I was like in middle school and high school, because that was the 90s. I was so bummed because it shattered one day. I was wearing it when I was playing basketball, and it shattered, and I couldn't figure out how to put those little teeny beads back on a string, so I ended up just tossing it a long time ago. This is like just under 20 years ago now. But anyway, so I was so happy about the necklace, but then I found this really cool ankle bracelet. Like, it's a beautiful blue and it's stretchy. And actually you can stretch it out so you can actually wear it as a necklace if you wanted to. But I wear it as an anklet, and it was kind of originally meant to be an anklet. So you kind of just like, twist it around a few times and bam, got yourself a really nice anklet. So I've been wearing that often. Actually, I'm going to put that on right now. And then I got these earrings that I'm really loving, and they come from Australia. Yes, I know, I have to get my stuff from like really far away. But there's this lady who makes these really cute little like plasticky earrings, and I want to buy a set, not of these, but she has an Alice in Wonderland set that she makes, and my bestie is in love with Alice in Wonderland stuff, so I want to get her those at some point. But yes, I love my sparkly little lobsters. Like, how cool are those? My dude actually like loves lobsters. He has lobster shirts, he has lobster like stuffed animals. We have our Larry, who's a lobster, who sleeps in our bed. And so yeah, he's Mr. Lobster everything. So I was like, I had to get these lobsters because they remind me of my dude. For crystals, I really only have one crystal that I was really digging the entire month of June. I mean, I love all crystals all the time. I love you, my crystal babies. But there's only one that I was working with quite a bit, using it for meditation, using it for dream work by placing it under my pillow when I sleep. And that is the treated calcite. So it's kind of like almost like a peacock calcite. But I don't know, I just thought this was like so cool. It's very rainbowy. And yeah, so I was like, okay, let's see what you could do. Because sometimes people don't like to use treated stones. I will, because, I believe it like changes the energy just in a different way. And so I'm willing to kind of work with this newly structured energy. And this gives me some interesting dreams, like nothing scary or anything, but they just kind of seem like one would have to be on drugs to have these kind of dreams. But so yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this. And then during my waking time, I'll just kind of put it in my pocket, and I just kind of feel like my days are a lot more smooth rolling if I have this with me. So I'm actually going to put that back in my pocket now as we speak. Moving on to some other things that I was digging for June. My charms. I now have some charms other than my seashells, because as you guys know, I am a contromancy reader. I read with seashells, but I read with like all kinds of things. I do bibliomancy, and just like, there are other like you guys out there that like read with stones. And I found out some of you guys said that you read with bottle caps, like the kind that you find on the ground that are kind of flattened. I thought that was so cool. Like, there's so many things that we can use to gather information. And so one of my fave charm casting peeps out there is Liz from Charmed Intuition Tarot, and so she was kind of like my inspiration. But I ended up like getting these charms. I mean, they're kind of a mixture of stuff I've already had. Like, I've already had this little like pin that's kind of broken that I've taken the obviously sharp part off, but like I have all these like little doodads that I already had, and then some things that I got off of Amazon, and you know, I've just kind of mixed them all up. And so I have these things that just like really like represent me. And I even did a video on like charm casting and all of that, so you guys can go check that out. But yeah, so I've been having fun playing with my new little like way for divining, like these types of charms, you know, instead of like the stuff that I already have. So I've been having fun with these. I've also have these are meant to go like on Crocs. I don't have Croc shoes, but they're really soft feeling, and I thought that because they're so vibrant and everything, you know, they'd be really good for readings. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. And then at Target, I got this bowl for like $2 because they're having like their summer sale right now of all kinds of like pool stuff and stuff for like outdoor barbecues and picnics and stuff like that. So, you know, and this is a ginormous bowl. But yeah, as I find things, I'll continue to like fill it up and all of that. So I'm having fun doing some charm casting with these totally kawaii charms. I'm like, oh, and I even have like glow in the dark letters and numbers and all kinds of good stuff. I mean, oh, I even have thing 1 and thing 2. And these are like a little craft, like resin craft supplies. So you never know where you find that stuff. Okay, let's move on into books. Books that I was digging in the month of June. Okay, so I read The Flight of the Feathered Serpent. So this is one that I started and finished in June. This is actually the guidebook to the Shultoon Tarot. But you don't need that tarot deck to be able to enjoy this book. You'll see it's rather beat up and old. That's because I got this secondhand, because I have no shame in getting secondhand items. Like I would, it's cheaper, and I don't care that people have previously touched them, you know, so I don't fear like secondhand. So I got this for like $2. It was like $1 or $2 maybe. And yes, it's written in and highlighted and everything. Still, I don't care. It had a lot of really good information. I would say just maybe some of the information as it pertains to the Mayan calendar is a little out of date. Not too bad, just because this is from 1978 or 1976, and there's been new discoveries since then. 1978. So, and I have like so many books on the Mayan calendar, and I've just been doing a deep dive into like my ancestry, because you know I got family that we've found from indigenous Andes. We're like, whoa, but it's probably through Mexico, you know, because we also have indigenous family from Mexico. So I've been just doing a dive into that, and also just like learning about Aztecs and Maya and, you know, Incas and stuff like that. So I've been really digging all of that. This is a really good book, you guys. So if you're interested in maybe looking into South American culture, the Maya, and their beliefs, and maybe trying to incorporate some of that into your readings, your practice or something, I think that this is fabulous. Again, this is The Flight of the Feathered Serpent, and the author, hold on, is Peter, I know it's Peter Ballin. Yeah, Peter Ballin. Yes, the previous owner wrote all over this book. That's fine. Other book that I was loving in June is the Philippine Folktales book. So this is cool because it's divided into like the different regions in the Philippines, and the Philippines like 10,000 islands. But well, I mean, as you guys know, my grandfather's from Cebu, Philippines. So I've heard some of these stories like from my aunt and, you know, my dad. And it's interesting to see them in here. This looks like a newer book, but the stories, let's see, the original printing is from 1916. It's from this like couple that like went down there, and they decided to like, because some of these stories they're passed down orally. There's like a lot of times not written down, so they decided to like go to all these different villages and like get firsthand these stories. But of course, it is also from an outsider's perspective. But I do feel that it's pretty true, like to some of these stories. So I think it's just great, you know, also being able to, you know, read the stories of like my relatives and stuff like that. So I was pretty happy. I was like, oh my God, there's a book with Pinoy stories. Yes. So Philippine folktales. Yes. Another one that I've been digging in June is another one of those journals where it has prompts and stuff like that. I already finished a journal by Monica Sweeney. I'm now on to her second journal that I bought from her called Let That Shiznit Go. A journal for leaving your BS behind and creating a happy life. And it's got happy little rainbows. So I'm not too far into it. I'm on page 22. The next section is called Not Today, Satan. I love that. This next section, it says, you can wake up in the morning and let the big bad demons in your life take over, or you can put on your special cape of positivity and power your way above, below, around, and through them. When have the first thoughts of your day given you anxiety? So you write that down. And then what are positive thoughts that can help you blast the F through them? And then you can write that stuff down. So I just love like the prompts and everything in here. It's totally my style. It's cheeky. It's funky. If swearing offends you, probably not the journal for you. But for me, I don't care. All right, and then the last book that I have for June is the Q&A 365 5 years, 1,825 answers, 5-year journal. And this was actually a gift from a group that I am in on Facebook called Wish Witches. And basically, I mean, there's a lot of gifting going on. People post their Amazon links or their Etsy links or whatever, and people just like either anonymously or not anonymously like buy each other gifts. But it's not mandatory. Like sometimes it's just in there because you want to share your thoughts, and it's just about sharing stuff. Sometimes it's material goods, and sometimes it's just a place where you know that you can feel safe, that there's absolutely like no bickering, there's no people getting spammy and like posting like, you know, like buy my stuff or whatever. It's I think it's just like a really nice hangout of like really good people who just genuinely want to hang out with nice people. They just want to talk and they want to share ideas or how their day is going, book recommendations, stuff like that. And every once in a while, people are being gifted some lovely things. So this was gifted to me and it was on my wish list, and it just like randomly showed up and I was like, who got me this? I'm like, I didn't order this. I'm like, what? And I realized it came from the group. And so I was very grateful for the lady that got it for me. But I got this at the end of June. And my friend Steph over at Journal de Femme Moderne Spiritual Steph, she has this and she was showing me and I was like, oh, I want to get that someday. And so it was on my wish list, and lo and behold, it showed up. So I'm pretty happy. They have just little questions, you know, and you could put the year, you know, so 2000, whatever year it is. And so, you know, this is the first year I'm filling it out. But when I come back around, let's say to July 6th, I'll be able to put another answer, and I'll be able to come back the third year and put another answer, the fourth year, put another answer, you know, and it's interesting. You'll be able to go back and reflect on, you know, previous years. So, well, for today, July 6th, it says, who is your best friend? Steph, if you're watching this, it's Steph. So yeah, and then tomorrow's question is, what's the next book you want to read? You know, so it'll be interesting to go back and reflect. All right, and what many of you have probably been waiting for, my tarot and oracle decks for June 2020, my faves, my favorites, my awesome list. First deck is an oracle deck. It's called the Self-Love Oracle, and this is by Akal Pratam. And I have this creator's like little affirmation cards, and I liked it so much I wanted to see what else they had created, and then I found this deck and I was like, what? And oh, by the way, on the inside of the box, how cute is that? So I already did a review of this, so you could check out my deck reviews and you can see like a whole thing on it. But all of the back color, the color of the backs are all different because it's kind of meant to correspond with the chakras. And so I think the art is beautiful. The messages are freaking awesome. I've just been having a lot of fun with this. This has been really good for journaling, for some self-reflection, for really taking the time to slow down, because, you know, I guess I'm kind of full on Gemini where I'm like, burp, 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 burp. I'm like all over the place and my brain can be all over the place. And so sometimes it's really hard for me to focus and settle my energy, but this has been really good for that. And also for taking care of myself, because sometimes I tend to burn myself out due to said running around like a chicken with my head cut off, you know. So, so yeah, this deck has been pretty freaking awesome. Another deck that I've been loving for June, and I think I mentioned this in May as well, but it's the Shultoon Tarot. I think I already showed this already. I don't care because it's still a fave. The readings are out of this world. Here's the backings. I actually showed my stepmom this deck during the like little 4th of July get together, and she was like, oh my gosh, because although I know that the art's like it's the artist was taking from actual Mayan art and kind of like that style in order to create this deck. So it's meant to be, you know, instead of just like, I'm going to take their style and then like make it my own and my own interpretation. Like they were really trying to make something that was like really like something that you would see like in the walls of like a temple or a pyramid or something like that. But anyway, my stepmom and my dad went down to Peru, where Machu Picchu, and they got to see Lake Titicaca and like all this stuff. So when I was showing her that there was a Mayan tarot, and she was like, oh, next they have to make an Incan tarot, you know. So she thought this was just like far out. She's like, oh my gosh, this is like, yeah. She was even like her and my dad, like you get them started about their South American trip, they will just talk ad nauseum, and I love their stories. But yeah, this is a really cool deck. Oh, here we go, one more. I like the messages. I like the feel of it. Again, you know, I've been really trying to tap into, you know, I have, I guess, so many cultures. I've always said before that I'm the Heinz 57 sauce, you know, of like culture. Okay, I've got so many different people swimming around in my DNA, and I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, but that's just one part of me. Right, another one, and I don't know if I've showed this before in my faves, but whatever, because it's still a fave. It's the Jade Oracle. And this is by Veronica Iglesias and Ann Key, the artwork by Ramona Snowtail. This is so cool. It goes really well with Peter Ballin's Shultoon Tarot, which also goes with the guidebook that Flight of the Feathered Serpent that I mentioned earlier. Here are the backs again, the art, the messages. And what's nice about this is because it's so cohesive, it's coming from one culture, you can put a lot of these cards together if you know a lot of the stories. I mean, there's the little guidebook, and it's definitely really helpful, especially if you're not too versed in it. But since I've been able to read up on all of these different stories, and I'm still learning more, I'm not considering myself an expert or anything, but it's just cool to be able to see, oh, this card relates to this card, and then therefore this is like, you know, you just get so much more out of the readings when you have like more of the background of the history, the stories. So yeah, I've really been digging this deck. And another deck for June, which I think I also got in June because it was part of the Witch's Moon. It's by Alana Fairchild, and it's the White Light Oracle. This is a deck that I don't think I'm ever going to read for anybody else with this deck. This is going to be a very personal deck. This is taking me on quite the journey, you guys. Those are the backs. It does use a lot of frequency, so sometimes it'll have like, let's see if I can find it, like best of 174 hertz. I actually have an app on my phone that will do like sound frequencies. So if I like play that, but I'm also playing some music, I really do feel like something in my body shifting, like it's actual visceral feeling, you know, which is so cool. And when you sit and meditate with these images and the messages, like, whoo, you want to talk about tripping out. You go to some really far off places, and sometimes you are really deep inside of you, and it's like, yeah. And the artwork too is just, it's like a dream. It's so cool. So yeah, I'm really digging this. And actually I was already looking at this of getting it, and then it just like randomly shows up in the Witch's Moon. I was like, synchronicity, I'm on to you. But yeah, so this has been great. And the last deck is a deck that I got for my birthday, mi cumpleaños, from my papa and my stepmom. And this is the Dreamkeepers Tarot by, I think it's Liz Houston or Huston. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, Liz. But my stepmom says her and my dad were at a place called The Last Bookstore in Los Angeles. And I did a review of this deck, but you're probably not going to see it until Sunday. Because this video is before the one you see on Sunday. So in the future, in a few days, you guys are going to be able to see this review of this deck. I didn't even know this deck existed. I'd never heard of it. I'd never seen the images of it. And so I was quite surprised. And my stepmom was like really smitten with herself, because she's like, I know that you own a lot of decks, and I know that you probably know like a lot of them that are out there. So she was happy to have found something that I would not only love, but also had never heard of before. And she was like, you can't find that on the Amazons. And I was like, I love indie decks, but it has a very Victorian slash kind of like Oracle of Mystical Moments. Is that it? Yeah, kind of like that kind of feel. Plus it's very soft and kind of weird. I really love it. It's totally my style. But just check that out. It's nice when you get surprised every once in a while and somebody gets you something you had no idea it even existed, and now you love it. Oh my gosh, there are quite a few things that I forgot to show you guys, so I'm going to show you them now. One of them is something my dude got for my altar, and it's DDP. If you guys remember Diamond Dallas Page, like WrestleMania type stuff, we love DDP. He does like, it's called Yoga for Regular Guys, YRG. And he is all about like trying to, like he does a lot of philanthropic, type work. And sometimes he's just like hitting people up on Twitter or whatever, like, who are like, I need help, my health is, whatever. And so he's all about trying to get people back to a place where they feel independent on their own. So he has like the YRG rebuild, where it's people who are literally like bound to their beds or wheelchairs, and he's trying to get them to feel a sense of confidence again, a sense of almost, independence again. And then, he has his regular, YRG yoga, and just, it's all kinds of like good stuff. And there are some miraculous stories of people who basically were like in leg braces, who now are doing sprints up hills, because they were like so determined to help themselves and help their bodies, and and then doing it for them, for just feeling better, so yes, DDP, he's actually a really awesome person. He's actually in a personal deck that I made. Like I made him like the King of Pentacles in the deck. But yes, he is on my altar from the dude. And last were birthday presents from the dude. He got me quite a few things, but he knows I love stuffies, so I'm just going to quickly show you some of them. So this was Dino, and by the way, they all come from a place called Jellycat. Jellycat has the softest, like most amazing stuffed animals. They're just so cuddly. If you guys have seen our bed, we have a bed full of stuffed animals, but don't worry, I clear them off when we go to sleep, and then I put them back on. It's kind of like some people have throw pillows. I have a million stuffed animals. So this is Dino. Many of you guys have met Sky. Sky did the July reading, so you might recognize him. I also have Herman the Hermit Crab. And I have Wiggly Worms. This is Wiggly. And then I have Sam. And I named it Sam because my best friend, she has a turtle named Sam, but hers is short for Samantha. This is short for like Samuel, Sammy, So, and then we have Inky. Inky's a little octopus, also so cute, so fun. And then we have Squiggles. Squiggles is a little frog. And then lastly, we have Lars the llama, also very soft, very cuddly, Look at that little llama tail. All right, so there you go. That's it, you guys. That was it for my June 2020 faves. I hope you enjoyed this. If not, just to get a little peek of some fun things, you know, that I have, or maybe things that you were looking for, or maybe you want to go out and try some Haribo treats, or maybe some Hello Kitty French cookies, you know, if you find your local Korean market, maybe looking at making some of your own charms, or you know, whatever it may be, you know, hopefully this sparks some ideas. But yeah, I'd just like to sit and have fun, sometimes show stuff off, have a little chit chat. And yeah, so let me know what were some of your faves from this video, any ideas that were sparked. And if you dug this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding, ding, ding notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittenswaitsandtarot.com. I have my room and body sprays, I have my salves, I have my travel witch altar pendants, which I keep up on my altar, my ancestral altar pendants, my rainbow bridge altar pendants, which are also up there, my bracelets that I make, and my Wally's World Oracle, a healing journey through sacred sites, community created and community funded. That is my little Wally Wallito. And this is full of sacred places all around the world from our homies that are all around the world. And if you want to throw a little love my way, think about joining the KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittenswaitsandtarot. For as little as $1, it really does help out the channel and help me to make fun videos, create awesome content, and you know, put stuff together like giveaways and, you know, cool functions. And hopefully in the future, I want to do another like meetup. You know, I think that would be really great. And yeah, so I will catch you spiritual homies next month. Well, currently we're in July, but later this month then, or maybe at the start of August, I'll do the July faves. All right. Catch y'all later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.